Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jiří Matoušek and I would like to welcome you to the presentation about the approval process for the call Support to Excellent Research Teams in the operational program Research, Development and Education. Overall presentation will take around 20 minutes. First of all, we will go through the stages of the approval process, including partial deadlines. An approval process is composed of 5 individual stages, and each of them has to be completed within a required number of working days. The first stage is internal evaluators and check of eligibility and formal requirements. The second is external evaluators who realize a substantive evaluation. The third is selection committee. The last 2 stages are managing authority and completion of documentation for legal act, and the legal act on the provision or transfer of support. Regarding to evaluation model, we are talking about the round call where all successful projects will be supported till the financial allocation will be available. During this single round evaluation model, whole project application is submitted and further evaluated just in single round evaluation. Substantive evaluation will be done by 2 external evaluators, if needed by Arbitrator. I would like to highlight that selection commission will be composed only from domestic evaluators. Regarding to evaluator, arbitrator and member of the selection commission, all will be registered in the database of evaluators and have to pass the procurement procedure successfully. Each of above mentioned have to possess required qualification for the call. None of them cannot be a member of the implementation team or project submitter. It is important to mention that each arbitrator is obliged to fulfill the conditions for performance of arbitrator's function, meaning long-term previous experience with evaluation. All arbitrators will be selected in the call from domestic evaluators. Evaluator and arbitrator will have available following documents for evaluation: the call as such, associated documents to the call, rules for applicants and beneficiaries, which are divided into general and specific section, grant application including annexes, and handbook for evaluators as well. Substantive evaluation is filled into the evaluation table, which is available in MS 2014+. You will be asked to fill comments, reasons to each evaluation criterion, based on which specific number of points is given. The guide for evaluators with guidance question you can find and read at annex number 2 to the call evaluation criteria. Basically, there are 3 types of criteria. Rejection criteria. When the criteria are not fulfilled, the grant application is disqualified from the approval process. Evaluation criteria. Scoring is assigned for fulfillment, non-fulfillment of criteria. Combined criteria. Fulfillment, non-fulfillment is scored. In the case of score below the minimum limit as determined in the call, the grant application is excluded from the approval process. At the end of the substantive evaluation, you will be asked to fill in overall comments to the evaluation, where you can highlight strong points and weak points of the project or qualification of the project. Each project is assessed by 2 evaluators, but both of them perform substantive evaluation independently. 2 evaluation tables are the result of the evaluation performed by them. The final resultant scoring is average of both evaluations. Evaluation tables are also used as a supporting document for negotiation of the selection commission. In case that scoring from both evaluators significantly differs, at least in one criterion, in the total scoring 70 points and more, and finally in the total qualification of the project for support. As has been already said, all arbitrators will be selected in this call from domestic evaluators. It is important to know that arbitrator comes during scoring from the scoring of both evaluators and from his own opinion. Scoring of individual criteria must be within the range of points assigned by evaluators. This new arbitrator's evaluation table is further supporting document for negotiation of the selection commission, which is the 3rd stage of the approval process. Project approval stage. Maximum number of points is 390. Minimum limit for passing to the project selection stage is 234 points, and at the same time must be fulfilled the score limit for all combined and rejection criteria. Then the application for allocation shall proceed to the following stage of the approval process. There are two types of results of evaluation. Satisfied, if the project is scored with 234 and more points, and at the same time it satisfies the minimum score limit of all combined criteria and at the same time satisfies all rejection criteria. The second option, didn't satisfy. The project is scored with the less than 234 points and or doesn't satisfy the minimum score limit one of combined criteria and or doesn't fulfill one rejection criterion. Regarding to the communication at the course of evaluation, it is forbidden between the applicant and evaluator, between evaluators each other, and between evaluator and arbitrator. Communication between evaluator and officer in the managing authority is allowed only through dispatch. The selection committee, the third stage of the approval process, decides whether the grant application will be or will not be recommended for funding or recommended with reservations. The committee is made up of 3 evaluators, and none of them cannot be an evaluator who assessed discussed projects. Competencies are stipulated in the rules of procedure of the selection commission status. Selection committee has 3 types of potential project results. Project is either qualified, disqualified for funding, or project is qualified with reservation, meaning grant will be allocated only after fulfillment of conditions stated in the reservation, or project is qualified with recommendation, which means it doesn't need to be accepted by the applicant. After the selection committee, the list of disqualified, qualified grant applications will be signed by a deputy in charge of management of the operational program section at Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport. During the approval process, there is possibility to raise the request for review against individual sections of the approval process. In case of well-founded request for review, remedy must be ensured. Basically, it means new scoring. Regarding 2 deadlines, I would like to mention following points. Accepting of evaluation up to 2 working days. Preparation of evaluation 8 working days. Amendment of the evaluation after returning by managing authority 4 working days. Sending of supporting documents for meeting of the selection commission 5 business days before meeting. In case that there will be a request to postpone submission of any evaluation, please contact a manager of the project or Ms. Klára Solničková through internal dispatch. Before we finish the presentation, please let me mention frequent errors during evaluation. Any comment has maximum limit of 2000 characters. In case you need to extend the comment, please insert additional annex. Simple project description. Explanation from the applicant cannot be required. Too brief evaluation, for example, only 1 sentence. Not corresponding number of points and verbal evaluation, for example, negative verbal evaluation and very high scoring. Furthermore, proposals for project modification without giving reasons, cuts in budget, failure to notice annex, proposal for adding of activities, indicators, target group which are not part of the call, obvious bias on the side of evaluator, failure to notice criterion, evaluation of different project. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. This is the end of the presentation.